All right, everybody, I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon for our presentation. My name is Craig Gomolka. I am the business recruiter for all our graduate programs here at the School of Management at the University of Michigan-Flint, and I also work with our undergrad program as well, too. Uh, You'll see the timestamps below, so you can jump ahead to certain sections of the video, whether that's the MBA, accounting, MS in leadership, or our undergrad online BBA program. Please feel free to jump ahead or watch the whole video for more information on application, tuition, and lots of other important information about the University of Michigan-Flint business programs. So the University of Michigan, obviously three campuses within the University of Michigan system. So we've got our Ann Arbor, which is obviously the flagship of the university, Dearborn, and then our Flint campus. Now, we've got a lot of different graduate programs, but when you look at MBA programs, I kind of use that as an example. There's different structures, different costs, slightly different admission standards to the different MBA programs, certainly accounting programs, and all other graduate programs. But no matter what campus you do attend, you're going to get that great University of Michigan education. Degrees and diplomas are all going to be issued by the University of Michigan. So you're going to have that great University of Michigan diploma that says U of M at the top. They all have the same seal, and they're all signed by the university president, Dr. Schleschel. One of the reasons students really like our campus is going to be the low cost. We tend to be the lowest cost of the three campuses, especially for graduate programs. And that's why students will come to us for that great cost, and then certainly that University of Michigan education. All the business schools at Michigan are accredited by AACSB International. It's the top accrediting body for business schools around the world. But from a student's perspective, why do you really care about accreditation? What does it actually do for you? So first off, it tells you that all of our full-time professors have their PhDs. They're some of the very best professors out there in the whole world. And then those professors do so much research, and then they do publications, typically over a 3 to 5 year period. So that tells you as a student in our program that our professors are staying on top of current topics and trends in their particular discipline. Let's say that's accounting or finance or supply chain. They're seeing where trends are today and where trends are headed in the future, so they can have a lot of those great classroom discussions around research that they're doing, research that their colleagues in other schools are doing as well too. So you're getting taught some of the very latest and greatest that you can actually refer to, not only from the textbooks, but from your professors' research and then their colleagues' research as well too. So let's jump into some of our programs here. The first program I do want to talk about is our MBA program. It's certainly our most popular program, and it's a 15-course program for most students. But when we look at how we break down our student into our three functional areas, we've got foundation courses, core classes, and then our concentration areas. The one thing that I really like about the way we have our program set up is it doesn't matter if you come from a business or a non-business background. This program is really set up for all students. So our foundation courses, there's 4 foundation courses. Now, if you don't come from a business background and maybe you've not taken an equivalent course, there's no prereqs in our program, no additional courses that you have to take in our program. Everything that you need to succeed is built right into this program. But if you do come from a business background or you've taken an equivalent course somewhere, you could potentially waive some of these foundation courses. Our first one is accounting for managers. It's a combination of financial and managerial accounting. We've got applied business analytics, which is stats and management science, economics, macro, micro, econ, and then we've got an organizational behavior class. Now, to be considered for a waiver, we can use accounting as an example. So if you've taken managerial accounting and financial accounting, and you've received a B or a B plus, depending on what school you've taken it at, and then you've taken it within the last 10 years, you'll be able to waive that particular course. And then we'll do that for all the different foundation courses. But again, if you've not taken those courses or you don't come from a business background, let's say you come from engineering, these courses are really there to succeed when you move to the core part of the program. So definitely a foundational base for you as you move through the MBA program. We've got 8 core classes in the MBA program. So we delve into finance. We've got global dimensions, which is our international business course. Information systems, which deals a lot in e-commerce. Marketing, Far and away, I think our students' favorite course in our entire MBA program is our negotiation course. What's great about this particular course is we blend personal and professional negotiations together. Students really enjoy it because it's really not about, winning in negotiations. It's really about putting you in an uncomfortable situation where you get to try new negotiations. And your grade isn't based on whether you win or lose a negotiation. It's really about the content that you're learning and then being able to try new things within this particular class. So that's why really students really enjoy it. Plus, one of the professor that teaches this is one of my favorites, so he's really tremendous. Non-market strategy delves into law, ethics, and policy. We have operations and supply chain management. And then we have a capstone class in our MBA program, which is a strategy class. So it combines everything that you've done in the core and the foundation areas into one big group project-based course. We do industry analysis, you do company analysis. You get to see how you actually utilize all the skills that you get and actually apply them from a strategic perspective in our program. Then students move into their concentration area. And there's a couple of different ways to complete the degree requirements here. So we've got a general MBA, which means you can take any 3 elective courses that you want. So let's say you want to take a healthcare course, an international business course, and a leadership course. Great. You could take any 3 that you want, and you could finish with a general MBA. Or you can actually get a concentration, which is 3 courses within one of these 8 areas. So let's say you want to take 3 finance courses or 3 leadership courses. Once you do that, you'll complete your MBA with a concentration in organizational leadership. So you have a specialization in one of these 8 areas to add to your degree. And as I mentioned, the program ranges from 33 to 45 credits. So if a student's able to waive those 4 foundation courses, they can complete the program for 33 credits or 11 courses. If they don't waive any, 45 or 15, or maybe they waive a couple and they're somewhere in between. So the program length can vary for each student, but I will say we've got a very flexible program. It doesn't matter when you start the program. It doesn't matter how many courses that you take during the program. We have a very, again, flexible program. I don't think you're going to find a more flexible program out there, and I'll talk about that in a couple of slides. I do want to go into our next program, which is our Leadership and Organizational Dynamics program, really for leaders and managers with at least 2 years of experience. And what we're going to do is we have, again, 3 foundation courses. We've got our negotiations course, an org behavior course, and then a strategy, organizational theory, and design course. So those are your 3 foundation courses. And then you get into the advanced courses. So talent management, ethical leadership. We go into advanced negotiations, builds off the core negotiation class, where you get into more mediation, more multi-party negotiations. So I'm really building upon everything that you've learned in the core negotiation class. We delve into strategic innovation management. Why do leaders need to innovate? Why they need to kind of keep evolving. We'll discuss a lot of those concepts in this particular course. Leading organizational change, we'll delve into change management. How do you kind of bring an organization around and kind of change gears, change modes in terms of getting people to follow you in terms of the ideas that you have, in terms of changing the, what will we say, kind of changing the culture within the organization. We've got a topics course in leadership, and then of course certainly international management. How do you break upon different international boundaries? How do you capitalize on those, as a manager and leader of an organization? This program is a straight 30 credit hour program. It's 10 courses, and as I mentioned before, it does require 2 years of management experience. What we do is we just look at our applicants' resumes for the management experience. Our last graduate program that we're going to talk about is our accounting program, very similar to setup to the MBA and our other programs. So we have 2 foundation courses, accounting for managers, which you'll be familiar with from the MBA program. And then we've got corporate financial reporting, which is almost like an intermediate 1 course if you were going to do an undergrad degree in accounting. So kind of a 300 level intermediate 1 course. And then we've got all the courses needed to set up for the CPA exam. So you've got your financial reporting, you've got your management accounting, you've got your 2 tax classes, individual and corporate tax. You go into systems and controls, you've got auditing, and you've got your governmental and nonprofit course. And then we've got our elective areas. You've got some accounting electives. You could choose to do some MBA electives as well too. And then this program is anywhere from 30 to 36 credit hours. Again, same concepts in terms of foundation courses that our MBA program has. So you could potentially waive these if you come from an accounting background. If not, great, these two courses are there to make sure you succeed in those core and elective courses as you move through the program. So anywhere from 10 to 12 courses for the accounting program. And we do have some certificates as well too. So we have a graduate certificate in business, which is basically 4 classes from the MBA program. It's basically a precursor to the MBA. If you're not sure if you want to get that MBA degree, but you do want to start off with some graduate courses, the certificate is great because they're pretty much every course from the MBA program except for the concentrations and then the capstone class. And then if you decide you want to continue on for the MBA, that is great. You can take those 4 classes, count them towards the MBA, and kind of keep on going. But there are 2 downsides to certificates. They're not eligible for financial aid, and then certainly you still have to apply for the MBA and be admitted. Whoops, excuse me. We also have a postmaster certificate. So these are for students that have an MBA degree or equivalent degree already, and they're looking for more of a specialization in a particular area. So they do 4 classes in one of our 5 specialized areas. Again, same application as the MBA. As long as you meet the prereqs, and if you've got an MBA, most likely you do. If you've got an equivalent degree, you may have to take a prereq or 2 to make sure that you're eligible for these classes. But it's great because, again, you get a specialized certificate, in one of these areas to really add and build your resume and certainly build your career as well too. Same downsides, no financial aid eligible for this particular certificate because it's not degree seeking. One of the things that we're big proponents in at the university are going to be dual degrees. The MBA by nature is a generalist degree, obviously it covers a lot of different areas. And then you've got more specialized or technical degrees that can go with that. So for example, the MBA and our Leadership and Organizational Dynamics program. What we do is we take 15 credits or 5 courses from that MBA and we count them towards that second master's degree in leadership. So what that leaves for students is really only 5 additional courses to pick up that second master's degree in leadership, which is really great because they get to count classes from one degree towards that second degree, saving not only time, but certainly saving money as well too to pick up that second specialized master's degree. And you can see all the degrees that we have here. So we've got accounting, we've got information systems, and then we do have some doctorate programs that we partner with in our healthcare area. Students don't necessarily have to know if they want to do the dual degrees all together. So let's say you're getting about halfway through your MBA and you're like, well, maybe I want to pick up that accounting or leadership degree. That's great. You can apply for it in the middle. You can come into our programs knowing you want to do both degrees. Or some students will even graduate with their MBA, decide maybe 1 or 2 years later, you know what, I really do want to go for that second degree. We're more than happy to have our students back, and we're still willing to count those classes that you've taken in the MBA towards that second degree. So again, we're pretty flexible in terms of the opportunities we want to give our professionals coming back for their master's degrees or their dual degrees. Students are always curious about completion time in a graduate program. So I kind of put together this slide to kind of show you what a lot of students do. But again, as I said, our program is really flexible in terms of our course offerings and then all of our ways you can take classes in terms of the amount of classes you can take. But for a lot of our students that are working full-time, they really try to stick to a part-time schedule. So that's 2 classes in the fall, 2 classes in the winter, and then 1 in the spring and summer. So anywhere between 5 to 6 per year. So anywhere they're looking at, maybe 2 to 2.5 years to complete the program. Full-time schedule, so these are really our students that are not working. So most of you guys aren't going to qualify for that. But students can take 3 fall, 3 winter, 2 spring, 2 summer. So it's really a lot of work in there, and they can get done in pretty much 16 to 20 months in 5 to 6 semesters. So that's a huge workload. So again, most of our students will stick to 1 or 2 classes per semester, trying to maximize the reimbursement they are getting from their organization, and really kind of stretch that MBA out to maybe 2.5, anywhere sometimes up to 4 years. Students actually have 7 years to complete the MBA if they really wanted to string it out and maximize all the reimbursement their organization is giving them. But I would say on average, our students are probably 2.5 to 3 years to finish their graduate degrees. We follow the university's academic calendar, so fall and winter are 15 weeks long. And then our spring and summer semesters are going to be more accelerated. They're 7 weeks. And that's why you see students only taking 1 class in spring and or summer, because it's just a shorter semester. So the coursework is more condensed for our students. And I did mention, again, flexibility, which is one of the things that we're really proud of in our graduate programs. We offer a lot of different types of classes. You can do our whole MBA program and our accounting program completely online, 100%, never have to come to campus. But the MBA has a lot of different modes of coursework that you can do. So we offer about 5 to 6 courses evenings. So if you want to come onto campus, 7 p.m. to 9:45 p.m., we've got 5 to 6 classes that you can do that way. I mentioned the online program, so 100% online. We do synchronous and asynchronous courses. So if you want to come back and never come onto campus, just do a graduate degree 100% online, or even a dual degree here, you can certainly do that as well. We offer hybrid courses, which we call Net Plus courses. These are probably my favorite courses. We do these in our MBA and our leadership program. So what this is, it's a 60-40 split between online and on-campus learning. So we have 60% of it being online, but twice per semester on a Friday and Saturday, we have residency sessions where students actually come onto campus for in-class learning. So that gives us the ability to blend online learning together with those traditional classroom activities like discussions, debates, and lectures. So really only twice per semester do you get that interaction, but it really builds upon itself in terms of networking, meeting with your professors and meeting with your fellow classmates in the classroom settings, which is really great. So for those students interested in the hybrid classes, we've got those. And then this fall, we're actually going to be rolling out a couple of new classes in this HyperFlex format, which is going to be a combination of both on campus and online. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want to do online for the first couple weeks of class, and then maybe you want to come to campus for an in-class session. You can do that. You can bounce between online and in class from week to week. So for those particular classes, you'll be able to kind of bounce between them. Or if you want to stay all online, or if you want to be all on campus, you're more than welcome to do that for these particular classes. And with so many course modes that we have and so many different programs, we do have a course rotation for our students out there. It kind of lets you know what modes each course is offered in each semester. Obviously, we can't offer every class every semester in all the different modes. So the course rotation really tells students, okay, this is kind of how to plan your schedule. But of course, we've got a great academic advisor that works with all of our graduate business students to help certainly plan schedules out. Along with myself, I work with her pretty closely in terms of making sure students get the courses that they want, and whether those are online or evening or our Net Plus courses. And we kind of build those schedules for each individual student based on the number of classes that they want per semester. I do want to say one more thing about classes. So students always ask, how many hours, do I have to put into the different classes that you guys have? So I tell students you can estimate coursework being about 7 to 9 hours per week for each class that you take. So, that goes into, your readings, your paper writing, different research that you'll be doing. So again, if you take a class, probably 7 to 9 hours of work per week for that particular class. You take 2 classes, maybe somewhere between 15 to 18 hours for a couple of classes in our program. So tuition. In-state tuition, 808 per credit hour. If you happen to be out of state, it's going to be 1,007. Some different fees associated with the different types of classes that we have. But overall, we're looking at, anywhere between 30 to 40,000 for the MBA, which I think is an outstanding price for a University of Michigan MBA. Accounting anywhere between 27 to 32, and then the leadership degree is right around $32,000. So certainly all very affordable master's degrees that we offer here on our campus. I do want to cover briefly just our online undergrad program. I know most of you already have your undergrad degrees, but if you don't, or if you know somebody looking at a bachelor's of business that is going to be completely online, we were just ranked about 3 weeks ago the #1 online program in Michigan, and certainly top 20 in the country for online business programs. So we're very proud of that ranking. And these are kind of our degree requirements for our undergrad program. So it's broken up into all these different areas: pre-business, gen eds, electives, core. And then we have 7 of our 8 different majors completely online for our students. Right now, the only one you can't do online is our operations and supply chain major. We have one of those courses that is still on campus, and I'm sure pretty soon we'll have that online. And again, very much like our MBA program, you could do the whole program online, but if you want to come to campus, that's great. If you want to do hybrid courses, if you want to do those hyperflex courses I mentioned, that's tremendous as well too. You can pick and choose and mix everything up that you want to kind of build a program in terms of the course modes that you want. The undergrad program is approximately 40 classes. We're very transfer friendly, so you can transfer in a lot of classes, let's say from a community college or a different university, but you do need 120 credit hours to actually graduate with your degree, meeting all of these different requirements. Undergrad tuition, $491 per credit hour, or if you're going to be out of state doing it online, about $550 per credit hour. And applying to the undergrad program is really easy. It's umflint.edu/apply. All you have to do is fill out the online application, which takes about 20 minutes, and then send over all official transcripts. Let's go back to our graduate programs and our application for our graduate programs. We do need all official transcripts from any and all schools that you attended. So let's say you graduated from one school, but you took a couple classes at a community college. We'll still need both of those transcripts. You're required to submit a resume, and we want to see all your work and education experience on there. A one-page statement of purpose, basically answering the question, why do you want, let's say, the MBA or the accounting degree, and how is that going to help your career? Nothing too complicated, just one page. Or if there's some extenuating circumstances that may affect our admission decision, let's say your GPA isn't as great as you wanted it to be, certainly I would include that in your essay and say maybe why a graduate degree will be different for you. So it's basically your open forum, your essay, so you want to include anything that will certainly affect an admission decision on there. We do require 2 letters of recommendation, and the online form that we have is really nice for you because all you have to do is put in the name, the title, and the email of the people you want to ask recommendations from. Once you submit your online application, our graduate office will email your recommenders. They get a link from us, they click on it, they answer 6 questions about you, they submit it, and they're done. So really easy for you and really easy for them. So your recommenders don't actually have to write a formal letter, they just use the online form, and that will complete your letters of recommendation. We do usually require the GMAT and GRE, but we do have GMAT waivers right now, which I have the slide on just after this, and I'll kind of go over that. For any of our international students, we do require English proficiency. So if your degree was not done in 100% English, you will be required to either take the TOEFL or the IELTS, or we do take Duolingo now. So one of those will complete English proficiency. And then our application is good for a whole year. So if you're not thinking about starting a graduate degree for a whole year, I encourage you, utilize that fee waiver that I have, get that application actually submitted, and then you could submit your application piece by piece. So let's say in a couple weeks you want to submit in, a resume. A little bit later on, you want to submit your statement and then get your transcripts in. That's great. We won't actually review your application until it's fully completed, and at that point, our grad office will review it to make sure it is fully completed. and then they'll send it off to me for review in terms of admission to one of our different programs. I mentioned the deadlines. So our next deadline is actually spring. I know this is just after the 15th, but I do have some leeway with that deadline. So if there's anybody interested in actually starting in the spring semester, let me know, and I've got some leeway with that. We can certainly get started. And spring will start probably right at the end of April. So we got a little over a month to start for that semester. Summer semester starts at the end of June, and that deadline is May 15. And then a lot of students will gear up for the fall semester. So we've got two deadlines for fall. We've got our early deadline of May 1st and our final deadline of August 1st. The only difference in terms of the deadlines is going to be early deadlines is going to allow you to get in for scholarships, different financial aid opportunities, and then some of our research assistantships as well too. So if you're interested in doing an assistantship with one of our professors, you definitely want to apply by May 1 and get admitted by May 1, because all of those deadlines are going to be June 1st. So as long as you get admitted by May 1st, you'll have about a month to apply for all of those opportunities at the university. I did mention the GMAT waiver for our students. So due to COVID, right now we're just waiving the GMAT for any student applying for spring, summer, and fall. And then after fall, if you're looking at our winter semester next year, we'll have an updated GMAT waiver for students. But right now, anybody looking to apply for those 3 semesters, all you have to do is email me your name, make sure that you submitted your application, let me know what program you've applied for, and then what semester you've applied for, and I can send that GMAT waiver note to our graduate office, making sure we've completed that part of your application. Here is my contact information, but below you'll also see a link to schedule an appointment with me. So if you've got questions on any of the programs that we talked about today, feel free to check out the link below, schedule an appointment, and I look forward to talking with everybody soon.